All right. So, making money online is something that I think is on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
And, you sent over a whole bunch of articles and notes all about these monetized URL shorteners.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I was like super skeptical at first.
Really?
But, after looking through everything you sent,
Yeah.
it's actually, there were some really interesting details in here.
Okay.
So I guess like the big question here that we're going to try to answer is, can you actually make money with these things?
Yeah.
Or is it just another one of those like internet fads?
Right.
Well,
I mean, it's interesting because it really kind of plays on something that we all do already, right? Sharing links.
Yeah.
I mean, these services, essentially what they do is they shorten a link,
Mm-hmm.
and then when somebody clicks on that link,
Right.
they're going to see an ad for, a few seconds before they get to where they're going.
Okay.
And then the person who shortened the link gets a cut of the ad revenue. Now, the two things that are really important here are CPM,
Okay.
which is cost per 1,000 views. That's what the advertisers are actually paying.
Mm.
And then also the click-through rate,
Okay.
which is how many people actually click on the ads.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like shortening links. It's shortening links that people want to click on.
Exactly.
Okay. So what are some of the things that we should be looking for in a good URL shortener?
Right.
If we're trying to actually make some money with this.
Well, you definitely want a platform that's going to give you detailed stats so you can actually track your progress and see what's working. So, imagine being able to see like exactly what kind of content your audience loves to click on.
Yeah.
That's really powerful information.
Yeah, for sure.
You also want to look for multiple payment options.
Okay.
Some of them even offer Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, a low minimum payout threshold. I mean, you don't want to have to wait forever to actually, get your money.
Yeah.
Some of these platforms let you withdraw as soon as you hit like $1.
Wow, that's interesting. I noticed in these articles they talk a lot about click-through rates.
Yeah.
Is that really like the most important thing when it comes to making money with this?
I mean, it's really crucial because think of it this way, right?
Yeah.
More clicks equals more eyes on those ads.
Right.
Which equals more revenue for you.
Yeah.
So it's a direct correlation.
Okay.
So then the question becomes, how do you actually get people clicking?
That's what I was thinking, because it's not like we can just spam these links everywhere and just expect people to click on them.
Right.
So where are the places, where would you actually share these shortened links to actually get those clicks?
Well, you really want to focus on places where you're already sharing links.
Okay.
And engaging with an audience.
Okay.
So think about social media platforms
Yeah.
like Facebook, Twitter, blogs, your own website,
Right.
even forums or online communities,
Yeah.
If you're already sharing interesting content in those spaces,
Right.
then you're off to a great start.
I see in these articles they also mention content marketing,
Right.
which sounds way more legitimate than just randomly dropping links.
Exactly.
But what about those ads? Those annoying ads that pop up everywhere?
Yeah.
Doesn't that ruin the user experience?
Well, it's a valid concern, and it really highlights why it's so important to choose a reputable platform.
Okay.
You want a company that's actually prioritizing quality ads that are relevant to the content.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, safe for the user.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you don't always have direct control over the ads themselves.
Right.
But you can at least make informed choices about which platforms to use.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm starting to see how this could actually
Right.
work.
Right.
But now I'm starting to think about the downsides.
Mm.
Are there any security risks that we need to think about?
Oh, for sure.
Could we end up with a hacked account or worse?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you're talking about money and the internet,
Yeah.
there are always going to be risks that you have to think about.
Right.
And the articles you share actually highlight some really important ones.
Okay.
Like malicious ads, for example.
Yeah.
Those can contain malware.
Oh, wow.
Or phishing links, which can, compromise your computer or your personal data.
Okay. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, right?
Right.
You want people to click, but you need to make sure that those clicks are safe.
Exactly.
Okay. What else should we be aware of?
Well, privacy is another concern.
Okay.
Some of these services might collect data about your clicks.
Oh, wow.
Including location and device details.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's always the risk of someone hacking your account if you're not using strong passwords and two-factor authentication.
Okay. So there are definitely some things to think about.
For sure.
So let's say we're, on board with this idea.
Okay.
I want to try it out.
Yeah.
what are some of the top URL shorteners we should consider?
Okay, so there are a bunch of popular options out there.
Okay.
Shrinkern is one that's known for being really user-friendly and having pretty competitive CPM rates.
Right.
And they also offer payouts through PayPal and Bitcoin.
Okay.
So you've got some flexibility there.
Yeah.
Then there's shrinkme.io.
Okay.
Which boasts some really high CPMs.
Oh, wow.
Potentially even reaching $25 in certain regions.
$25. Wow.
Yeah. And they're known for processing payments pretty quickly.
Wow. That's something to consider, but is that realistic?
Well, I mean, a $25 CPM might seem like, the norm. It really depends on a few factors. Your audience, the content you're sharing, the types of ads being displayed.
Right.
Those all play a role in determining what your actual CPM is going to be.
So it's not as simple as just signing up and raking in the cash.
Exactly.
Okay. I see. What other platforms are worth checking out?
Well, there's Shortfly.
Okay.
That's another option with pretty competitive CPMs and quick payouts. And their analytics dashboard is pretty robust.
Okay.
Which is good for, tracking your performance.
Right.
But there's one platform that I really want to highlight, and that's LinksGPT.
Okay.
It's relatively new, but they're really focused on security and credibility.
Okay. That sounds promising.
Yeah.
What makes them different from the others?
Well, they really prioritize high quality ads.
Oh.
And they give users more control over the types of ads that are displayed on their links.
Oh, okay.
Which is a big step towards creating a safer and a more trustworthy experience.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great to hear. It sounds like they're trying to address some of those security and privacy concerns that we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
So to recap, there's definitely potential to earn money with these URL shorteners. But, it's important to choose reputable platforms.
Yeah.
And just be aware of the risks involved.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and remember, we're just scratching the surface here. There's a lot more to explore when it comes to maximizing your earnings.
Right.
And navigating the world of monetized URL shorteners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of covered the basics
and
some of the key platforms that we should be looking at.
Right.
But now I'm curious, what are some of the actual strategies for actually making money with these things?
Right.
Because it can't be as simple as just slapping a shortened link on everything we share.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. There's a little bit more to it than that. If you really want to make this work, you really need to think about it like any other online business.
Okay.
You need a strategy.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Right.
So what does a URL shortener strategy look like?
Well, first you got to think about your audience.
Right.
Who are you trying to reach?
Right.
And what kind of content are they actually interested in?
Yeah.
Once you have a clear understanding of who you're talking to, you can actually start creating and sharing content that's, relevant and engaging for them.
That makes sense because if you're sharing content that people actually want to see,
right,
they're more likely to click on your links, shortened or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really where content marketing comes in.
Okay.
You want to create valuable content that solves a problem, answers a question, or simply just entertains your audience.
Okay.
Think blog posts, videos, infographics, even social media updates. The key is to just make it shareable.
Okay, so it's not just about the link itself.
Right.
It's about the content that's around it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm still a little wary of the ads,
Sure.
How can we make sure that we're not bombarding people with annoying ads or irrelevant ads?
Well, again, that's where choosing the right platform really comes in.
Okay.
Look for platforms that give you some level of control over the ads displayed, or at least, prioritize quality and relevance.
Right.
You can also just be transparent with your audience.
Yeah.
Let them know that they might see a short ad before they get to the content.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Honesty and transparency.
Right.
Build trust.
Exactly.
Which is so important.
Especially online.
Yeah, exactly.
And, think about it this way.
Yeah.
If you're sharing valuable content that people actually want to see, a short ad is a pretty small price to pay, right? It's kind of a trade-off.
Yeah.
You're giving them free content, and in return, they see a few ads.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But I'm also wondering about, the ethical side of things. Is it okay to, make money from people clicking on these links if they don't really know what's going on.
I understand that concern. And again, that's really why transparency is so important.
Right.
Being upfront about how these links work.
Yeah.
Giving people the option to skip the ad if they choose to can go a long way in building that trust.
Right.
And making sure that you're operating ethically.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all about being respectful of your audience.
Exactly.
So let's say we've done our research.
Okay.
We've chosen a reputable platform.
Yeah.
We're creating great content. Are there any other tips for actually making this whole URL shortener thing work?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Think about your call to action.
Okay.
How are you actually encouraging people to click on your links?
Yeah.
Are you using compelling headlines and descriptions? Are you promoting your links on social media and other platforms?
So it's not just about creating the content.
Right.
It's about actually promoting it.
Exactly. You got to get your content in front of the right people.
Right.
And then don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
Try different strategies, track your results, and see what works best for you and your audience.
That's great advice. It sounds like there's a lot to learn and explore.
Yeah.
When it comes to making money with URL shorteners.
Absolutely.
It's not like a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
But with the right approach,
yeah,
it could be a viable way to actually earn some extra income.
Absolutely.
Online.
And remember, it's all about providing value.
Right.
If you're sharing high quality content that people find useful.
Yeah.
Or entertaining, they'll be way more likely to click on your links.
Right.
And you'll be more likely to see those earnings come in.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about strategies.
Yeah.
We've talked about ethics, the importance of providing value.
Exactly.
But I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear.
I bet.
About specific examples of how this all works in practice.
You're right. Let's dive into some real world examples and case studies and actually see how people are successfully using these URL shorteners to generate income.
Okay, so we've talked all about, strategies and picking the right platform and creating good content, but I want to hear about some real world success stories. Are people actually making decent money with these URL shorteners?
I mean, there are definitely people out there who are finding success with this.
For example, some social media influencers.
Okay.
They use URL shorteners to monetize the links they share with their followers. They built up this large audience who's engaged with their content.
Yeah.
And then when they share a shortened link to a product, a service, or even just a related blog post, they can earn a commission on any clicks that lead to, a sale or action.
That makes sense. They're already sharing links.
Right.
So why not monetize them?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What about people who aren't influencers?
Yeah.
Can they still make money with these things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, take bloggers, for instance. They can use URL shorteners to monetize the links within their blog posts.
Okay.
So if they're writing about a particular product or service, they can include a shortened affiliate link and earn a commission on any sales that are generated through that link.
So it's like a subtle form of advertising.
Right. Exactly.
Within their content.
Yeah.
But isn't that a bit deceptive? Shouldn't readers know that those links are monetized?
Yeah. And that's really where transparency comes in again.
Yep.
Ethical bloggers and content creators, they'll be upfront about their use of affiliate links.
Okay.
Often they'll disclose this information at the beginning or end of their post. It's all about being honest and transparent
with your audience. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's about balancing making money with, keeping the trust of your readers.
Exactly.
Are there any other examples of how people are using these successfully?
Well, you also see businesses and marketers using URL shorteners for promotional campaigns.
Okay.
So they might share a shortened link to a landing page, a contest entry form, or a special offer, and use those few seconds of ad time to capture attention and drive traffic to, their desired destination.
So it's not just about making money directly from the ads. It's about actually using the ads to drive traffic,
Yeah.
generate leads.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting.